My name's Ben, and this is how I've experienced racism.
My name is Renee, and this is my story.
Hi, my name is Eli, and this is my story.
When my grandma came to visit in Atlanta one day, we were going to a place, but on the way I stopped to talk to somebody real quick. And then as I was trying to catch up to my grandma and my mom, I got stopped by the security.
When I was 7 years old, growing up in Southern California, I remember being on the playground with my friends, and these friends began to call me names. They said that black was not good, black was ugly. They did not want me staring at them anymore, playing with them. They did not want having anything to do with them and our friendship on the playground. I remember going to my aunt's house later on that day and telling her the story. My aunt grabbed my face into her hands and she said, "Renee, you are beautiful, you are amazing, and that you are something and you will continue to be something one day."
I remember this all kind of started my freshman year of high school. I grew up in Roanoke Park and attended the public schools there from 3rd grade up. And I remember going into my freshman year at Rancho Cotati and being put in ESL, or English as a second language. At first I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody had put a joke and put me in. But I remember my mom called and she kind of cleared it up, and they apologized and they put me in a regular English class. But my sophomore year, I looked at my classes and again I got put into ESL. And this time it was a little less funny.
And then they proceeded to say, "Hold on." And I was going like, "What's going on?" And they said that we think you are going to attack these women and, steal their purse or whatever. So I told them that was my grandma, and they didn't believe me, so I had to wait for my grandma to come back and ask what was going on.
I'm transitioning to 2003, going to Sonoma State University. My friends and I are walking to the cafeteria. Instead of being called ugly, we were being called the N-word. We were having trash thrown at us. We were being stared at. We were foreign objects.
But they didn't. I tried to tell them that was my grandma, and I'm just running to catch up to them, and they didn't believe me. So they had to wait till my grandma came and told them that this is my grandson and he's with us, and they didn't believe her at first, but they finally got it all squared away, and then they let me go. But the officers there didn't apologize for stopping me or detaining me. So
It was during my sophomore year that I began to realize that racism itself wasn't just held to just another race, but sometimes your own. I remember my sophomore year, I didn't speak much Spanish and just feeling like I was never really Mexican enough for the Mexicans. And so I went to my other friends and never being white enough for the white people. And feeling displaced and not knowing who I was looking at my identity through other people's opinions, and how they saw me was who I was.
And I remember my friends and I just going back to the dorm later on that day and just really feeling sad. We didn't really know what to do. We used each other as a support, but we all just felt heartbroken that we came up to Sonoma State to do something great with our lives and have an experience that we were getting called the N-word. And it just shocked us all.
well, it just kind of took me, by surprise, because here I am just trying to catch up to my family, and I'm getting stopped for it because of, I guess, the way I look. And I guess it made me feel kind of like, why is this happening?
It was a crucial time in my life because I'm starting to become a man, and I'm starting to ask these questions of who am I and what's my place here. And to be put in a position where you feel like you don't fit in, you really start looking at yourself and start thinking, something wrong with me?